And hello everyone. Thanks for your patience. So today, a Final Fantasy V Career Day tournament match. All trap chests lead to the void, which means that, aside from standard settings, key items can also be found in the monster in a box chest to make things spicier. Today it's a loser bracket round 3 match, Judgejoe versus Lilly Spikes. We have made you all wait way too much, so I will make the intro shorter. Thanks everyone for coming. I'm Rammstein. I'll be double tasking at commentary and tracking, and also tracking the hints. I sent a link to a Google Sheet earlier, so let's enjoy this race, everyone. I will send the runners off. And race should begin in a few seconds now. Alright. I have the tracker, I have the hint tracker opened, and I have the gaming chat open. Also, thanks a lot to our restreamer in the background, Professor Renderer, for his help. Alright, the race should begin in a few seconds. Depending on the delay. There is also an Ocarina of Time randomizer race happening right now on the main Speed Gaming Live channel, if you're interested in Ocarina of Time. But if you're interested about FF5 Career Day randomizer, the race is happening now. So we are beginning with the usual Castle Tycoon looting. It gives a bunch of useful or not useful equipment. And the first hint in the seed, ooh, we find the Night Crystal. The Night is a really great job to start with. It has a good HP stat, can equip swords, good attack stat. Very useful for the beginning, and if you master the Knight, your Freelancer and Mimic are going to get an HP stat bonus, which makes it variable to get at the start. Image with Magic is also great to have. Can help against various bosses like Minotaurs, though the white magic spell won't be usable against Minotaurs. Damage Floor is a good passive ability, especially in Exodus Castle. If you don't find Float, prevents you from taking damage from the lava floor. Alright, next up is our first hint. Fourth tablet is in Word 1. That means that one of the 4 tablets we need to access the deep end of the void, specifically the 4th tablet. All 4 tablets are numerated. The 4th tablet is in Word 1. Now we have a routing difference. Judgejoe is looting the Pirate's Cove, whereas Lilly is going to loot the Black Chocobo Forest and do probably loot Crescent Village afterward. Oh, we find red shoes in the Pirate's Cove. So red shoes are one of the 3 dancer gears with the Lamia's tiara and the rainbow suit. It enhances the probability to see sword dance when using the dancer's dance command. We see Vitality Song and Requiem and Slip Sword in a shop in Crescent Village. Those are extremely useful spells. Sleep Sword is useful against a few bosses that are vulnerable to sleep. And Sleep Sword, contrary to the Sleep spell, is guaranteed. Same with Mute Sword, especially useful against Omniscient. Vitality Song is a song that gives regen to all characters, and Requiem is an offensive spell useful against all undead monsters. Oh, so we're going Knight and Berserk. Oh, and I think we found the Dragon? Oh, so the first... The starter job was the Dragoon, so we are using Dragoon Knights and normal Knights. And we did find the second tablet directly in Tool's Monster in a Box chest. So Judgejoe, dipping tool first, checking the various shops there are, the various randomized items as well, and soon enough, the hint given by Zox. And a Lamius Tiara, that's 2 Dancer gears already. If we find the Dancer, we could set up a powerful team. Especially if you master the Knight and get equipped swords. Elder Branch is in Ward 1 as well. So the Elder Branch is an item you actually don't really want to see much. It unlocks more forest, which is 1 check. It's the most powerful randomized boss in the second world, aside from X-Destined Castle, but this one is not randomized. And the problem is, it also unlocks Fog Tower in World 3, because doing more forest replaces Galuf with Kryl. And Kryl is required for Fog Tower, because otherwise the game doesn't like Galuf in Fog Tower. And we have our first Kuza Castle check. We do find X-Fight and Excalibur, White Magic 6, Apollo's Harp, Judgment Staff, Korra Ring, a Masamune, Genji Gloves, Leviathan, and the Chicken Knife. Okay, so Chicken Knife, Excalibur, and X-Fight, I think, are going to be Joe's picks. So X-Fight is a powerful command, making your character attack 4 times the same turn, while ignoring accuracy, so you will never miss. X-Magic is also compatible with Magic Sword. Excalibur is a light elemented sword equipable by knights, and we do have knights. Chicken Knife is equipable by almost all characters and is the most powerful weapon. Being a knife, it also has more accuracy than swords. And since it's the randomizer version, the Chicken Knife and Brave Blade are always max stats available. So even if you run away, the Brave Blade won't decrease, and even if you haven't run away once, the Chicken Knife will still be max strength. So having X-Fight Excalibur and X-Fight Chicken Knife is a powerful start indeed. Finding that before the first boss makes it really easy. So Judgejoe is not wasting any time and going right away to the first boss, though not saving, or maybe Judgejoe is going to save after. No, not after the chest. He's not going to save at all. So the item I missed in Kusa Castle, the first one was time 6. Both time 6 and white 6 are also good choices, but for the beginning I would go the same as Judgejoe. X-Fate, Excalibur, and Chicken Knife. So Gilgamesh 1. Really easy boss. But we're a runaway, so you won't get any XP unless you actually kill him. Which is easy thanks to X-Fight Chicken Knife. But we don't get any key item for that. No random encounters in this randomizer? Actually, there are. We just have an option. You can turn it on or off. It's an option in the settings. If you need to grind, you can turn it on. If you want to save time, you turn it off. I see Bard. I don't know. Was it Bard Clothes or Bard Crystal? Because getting the Bard early is also a really great find. Lilly checking More Village, which has a hint and a choice between two items here. So diamond plates on the left. I think that's a reset to check the item on the right. Judgejoe moving right away to Tornus Canal. And that's Siren. So X-Fight is going to make short work of Siren once again. Oh, White Wind, Blue Magic. White Wind is indeed a better spell to get. If we get Blue Magic, White Wind allows you to heal all characters using the caster's HP. So History Falls holds the first tablet. I didn't see the item that Judgejoe got because I was focused on the hint on Lily's side. So X-Fight is an ability that makes your character attack 4 times in the same turn, while ignoring accuracy, so you will never miss. Literally just attacking 4 times. We saw Kaiser Claws in Moor Village shop. This gives you a beefy strength stat boost and enhances bare hand attacks even more. Dancer! Wow, we have Bard and Dancer. Incredible. Dancer is kinda rendered useless by the fact that we have X-Fight, but that's another great strat to use Dancer and the Dancer gears with the Chicken Knife. And yes, getting an ability as an item teaches it to all characters. We find Necrophobia, so we love to see Necrophobia early on because he's weak at this spot. We can defeat the buyers quite easily, and they will only use tier 1 spells. The only caveat to X-Fight is that the 4 attacks are random target. So in this case, if it hits Necrophobia before we defeat the buyers, those hits will be void. Now we just have to wait until Necrophobia's dialogue. He will switch to second phase. Gets weakness to all elements, so Excalibur is going to hurt. Or just use the Chicken Knife. No, the abilities are not randomized with the settings. It's just that the abilities can also be found in random chests, if you're lucky. But the final reward from mastering the Ranger, Archer, or whatever you call it is always going to be X-Fight. Just the same, we saw Time 6 and White 6 in Kusa Castle. White Mage and Time Mages are still going to give you Time Magic and White Magic according to their level of mastery. like with those settings. There are settings called pure chaos where the abilities are indeed randomized. Judgejoe checking the Cowan's shops on the way to the Northern Mountain. Finding the Maiden Kisses. Maiden Kisses are what cures the frog status. Useful if you find Harikanaso, which will always begin the fight with Kururu, which turns all your characters to frog, unless they are immune to it. The only ways to be immune to frog is to have a Genji gear or a ribbon. I think there was a Genji glove in Kusa Castle, but non-runners took it. And I think the Genji gloves can be equipped by the knights. Judgejoe is actually not going to Northern Mountain, but instead chooses to dip in, I think that's Wolf's Meteor. Lilly gets back to Crescent. Yeah, definitely getting Vitality and Requiem after getting the Bard. Calabos, Lobster number 1. So you can see Judgejoe is not curing blind. That's because X-Fight doesn't have an accuracy check, so it never misses. Even if you blinded, your character will not miss due to blindness. Galuf missed his attack because he's not using X-Fight. I think he turned Galuf into a bard. With the Bard, the Apollo Harp available in Kusa is also an extremely great choice. It does 8 times damage on dragons and undead. Oh, that's the Elder Branch for Judgejoe. So we did find it. We found it. Yeah, getting tablet number 2 in Tool's Monster in the Box chest really gives powerful equipment before the first boss. It kinda looks like we're back to version 1 tournament, back when we had World 1 and 2 open and the first tablet for free at the beginning, so everyone was checking Kusa right away and getting powerful equipment before the first boss. So here we see the Hunter is for sale, but Judgejoe not electing to choose it. To be honest, until we find Yoishibo or Artemis Bow, Hunter isn't going to be much useful. Especially since we have Knights, Dragon Knights, Bard, Dancer, and X-Fight already. Barrier Tower is Path to the Void. So what this hint means is that the Barrier Tower is a required location because it holds either a tablet, anti-barrier or bracelet, or an item that leads to one of those items. It can be either the boss check at the top, which is at the boss spot, or it could be any of the trap chests. There are 2 trap chests in Barrier Tower, and Lilly is indeed going to use the Dancer. So here's a bit of trivia. So each character has a different Dancer attire. Faris has a traditional Japanese kimono. Bartz and Lena represent tango and salsa, while Kryl uses a tutu, so ballet. Each character has a different dancing attire. Judgejoe making short work of Galura on Shiva Spot and gets the bracelet. So, considering the hints and what we found, there are a lot of items in Ward 1, so both runners are probably going to fully clear what's available in Ward 1 before moving to Ward 2. That's what Judgejoe is doing right now, clearing all the meteors. Those are easy access and gives a bunch of good XP. Lilly getting Sword Dances. So Sword Dances is a move that you have 25% chance to get every time you do dance. If you have a dancer gear, so tiara, red shoes, or rainbow suit, it is 50% chance instead. And what it does is 4 times damage of a normal attack. So if you use dance and a chicken knife, it's huge damage. It also ignores accuracy checks, just like X-Fight, so if you're lucky and get Sword Dance, well, you are guaranteed to hit. It also works with Magic Sword. Wow, tablet number 3? This one was not even hinted. We know tablet number 4 is also in Ward 1. And tablet 1 is hinted. It's History Falls, so we just need the Falls Shrine and Submarine. Along with access to Ward 3, which is beating Access and Castle in Ward 2. This might be a really fast seed. The 2 remaining tablets are hinted. Since we need the Submarine to get access to Bio Tower is Path to the Void for another item, so probably either the Anti-Bio, which would be considered vanilla, or for the Falls page, or both. Lilly getting Deathclaw. It's a blue magic ability that puts a non-heavy enemy to 1 HP state and paralyze, so setting up for an easy kill, but requires the boss to not be heavy. Big Bridge Key. Ward 1 is filled with a lot of items. Judgejoe checking Karnak, finds the Dance command directly. Some cabins to buy. Cabins are more powerful than tents. Tents only heal for 1000 HP and I think 100 MPs. We find Magic Song and Love Song along with Esuna. So Love Song is useful on the board. It basically inflicts stops to all targets that are vulnerable. For instance, you can stunlock Bahamut with it, with Love Song. You can stunlock Bahamut and Shout. Ifrit's Fire is in Ward 3. So the thing is, this key item is in Ward 3, but it unlocks a Ward 1 check. So the other hints about Ward 1 might be locked behind Ward 3 access for the Ifrit's Fire. We never know. So Judgejoe continuing with the Ward 1 checks, doing the Catapult. It's kind of an easy location, and we'll also unlock the Lonka Meteor afterward. So you could consider it as 2 Ward 1 checks. Okay, which boss is it? That's a Craig. And that's Gilgamesh 3. So this one is a bit annoying because if you cannot kill it directly, Gilgamesh will summon Enkidu. And that's not the case here. We successfully killed Gilgamesh before that. So no Enkidu today. Yes and no. In vanilla game, yes, you can stunlock Omega. In randomizer, you can't, because Omega and Shinryu have randomized weaknesses. There are hints, though, that gives you the immunities and weaknesses. For Omega weaknesses, you have to talk to an NPC in Mirage Village. And for Shinryu, you have to talk to a Mog in the Moogle Village. You might, but you're almost never able to. Lilly finds the Elder Branch. So Judgejoe found the steamship key. What steamship key does is unlock the steamship near Karnak, which is actually 2 locations. The steamship itself, which has 1 boss. This is Liquid Flame's spot. But afterward unlocks Karnak Castle Escape, which has 3 Monster in a Box chests, so 3 checks. And the boss at the end, which is Ironclaw's spot. So in total, the steamship key unlocks 5 checks. That's very valuable in those settings. Lunka Meteor has Soul Cannon. Also, a thing about Omega. We never do Omega. Omega and Shinryu are not required in any way. And you would just lose time. You would waste time doing them in those kind of races. An interesting boss that could have been seen would have been the Portal boss. In the former rule set, you could finish the seed by either beating Neo Exdes or the Portal boss, which is way much harder. But under the current rule set, you can't do that anymore. Defeating the Portal boss will not end the race, and it will launch the credits, so you would need to reset. So nope, today we won't see any Shinryu, Omega, or Portal boss. Lilly, 1-hit KO on Gudra with 5,000, exactly 5,000 damage to get the bracelet. So Judgejoe is progressing in the steamship, opening all the chests on the way. And Liquid Flame spot has Carbuncle, so that's kind of a mean boss. Fortunately here we won't even need to wait until Carbuncle hits the weak phase, because we are powerful enough to 1-hit KO like, hits kind of weak on this spot, not much HP, but it does give the Pyramid page, so once we have access to all 3, Pyramid is a really powerful location. It's free of access once you have the Pyramid page, doesn't require the sub-key, contrary to Trench and Falls. And it has many Monster in a Box chests, just like Shrine. Shrine and Pyramid are really boosted in those settings. Mirage Radar can be found in Wall 3. So Mirage Radar is needed to get access to Mirage Village, which has 2 hints. and a lot of valuable shops. That's the main functions of Mirage Village here. Very valuable shops. 2 shops of each kind, high tier, and on accessorily, it has the Black Chocobo, which gives access to Northern Mountain in World 3, which is the only access to Bahamut Spot. But we hope we don't have to do this one. Bahamut Spot is 50k HP, and we don't want to face a boss like this unless we can one-hit KO with a Doom ability or such. So the first monster in the box doesn't give anything. We do find Magic Sword 5 on the way. That's a great ability. We have access to Mute Sword, Sleep Sword, Break Sword, and the Tier 3 Elemental Swords. Once again, Magic Sword is indeed compatible with X-Fight and Dance. Break Sword and Tier 3 Elemental Swords can be used as one-hit KO moves. Break turns you into stone. So bosses that are vulnerable to Break will be one-hit KO'd. And if a boss is not heavy and weak to an element, the Tier 3 Elemental Sword will instantly kill it. Oh, we also get a Trench Page with that. Tablet number 4 in Trench Page. That's how powerful Karak Escape is with those settings. Look at all the items we found in World 1. 9 items in World 1. And a Yoshibo. While Lilly finds her 3rd tablet. Judgejoe is probably going to get to check the library for the hint from Ghetto, which is Mirage Radar is in Wall 3. We know that from Lilly. And now he's going to check Ifrit's spot. The only check that is not locked behind Ifrit's fire. Yeah, Lilly going back to Koza to get those useful abilities like White 6 and Time 6, probably. Oh, Ice 3 Sword Apollo Harp as well. Ice 3 Sword Magic is useful. Huge damage to Ice weak monsters. And one hit KO if the monster is not heavy. Guardian Crystals, so those can be annoying. But they can be one-hit KO by a Doom ability. They are not heavy. They can be one-shotted by Odin. Also, on this spot, they don't have much HP, so it's easy to kill them. Just be careful to not leave one alive, because it can cast Meteo. Also, Lena is missing with X-Fight, despite X-Fight not having an accuracy check. That is because Lena must be equipped with the Excalibur, which is Holy Elemental, and the crystal absorbs Holy, or is immune to it. So this result is in an automatic miss, even if normally X-Fight doesn't miss. So just as Jirai is pointing out, it can be a long chain to the last tablet, and here the only thing we know about T1 is that it's in History Falls. We need Submarine Key and Falls Page. And we know that Biotower is Path to the Void. Biotower Path to the Void means we are required to have the Submarine Key before that. So Biotower is going to give us either Falls Page or Anti-Bio. That's guaranteed. Or an item leading to those. Oh, we see the Berserker and Equip Bow at the same shop, so we could set up a Berserker. I think we did get a Yoichi Bow. So A Berserker is literally Berserker equipping bows. That's a powerful long-range offensive class, to be honest. But we do have more powerful setups right now. A Bulk Castle is passed to the Void. Wow. That's huge. So, Bulk Castle is something we like to do early in World 2. It has a lot of XP, especially if you can one-hit the boss. However, it might or might not be World 2. It can also refer to Odin's spot in World 3. In that case, it could be Path to the Void only for the History Falls page. But let's see. Maybe it's here, maybe not. We appear to have a technical problem with Lilly's stream. I think Lilly disconnected. We will try to resume our stream as soon as possible. We find Titan on Baal's spot. Do we? Okay, we can tank the Earthshaker has a death counter. Perfect. And that's the anti-bio. Perfect. So we now have access to Exodus Castle. And that means another thing. Bio Tower can be Path to the Void only for the Falls page, or something that leads to the Fall page. Which means Submarine Key can only be in World 1 or 2. And we do have another hint. Tycoon Meteor is Path to the Void. Judgejoe already did Tycoon Meteor. I think that was the Steamship Key, which was indeed required. I think that was it. Like, Pyramid Page was in Steamship. I don't remember where Trench Page was. And same with Big Bridge Key. I think Elder Branch was Wolf's Meteor. I think Bracelet was Shiva Spot. Yeah, Lilly disconnected and doesn't appear to have reconnected, unfortunately. Judgejoe, why are you buying Ice 2 sword? You have Ice 3 sword already. That's more powerful. Oh, that's a huge int. Mountains area are barren. Joe, don't go to Hiryu Valley. Don't! It's a mountain! You just got a hint that it's barren. Okay, Judgejoe is probably just going to get the chests, but not do the boss. Please don't do the boss, you know it's barren. So mountains areas are barren, that means Hiryu Valley and North Mountain are barren. Good grief, Judgejoe didn't do North Mountain. That's 3 less spots to check. Right. Like 2 checks at North Mountain in World 1 and 3, 1 check in Hiryu Valley in World 2. Am I missing another mountain? I don't think so. Fire 3 sword magic, that's also going to be useful. If we find the freelancer, it will be beefed up by the Knight Mastery, like a huge HP and strength stat, and we'll be able to equip 2 abilities, because freelancers can equip 2 abilities, so we'll be going to see X-Fight and Magic Sword. Joe, why are you checking the boss? You know it's barren! Oh, he did reset. Alright, he knows he doesn't have to do Leviathan. Did he save just before that? I hope so, because... Okay, he did. Because Fire 3 Sword is a powerful ability that you want to keep. So Lilly disconnected 5 minutes ago. Doesn't appear to have reconnected yet. Joe is checking Big Bridge. That's Vanilla. Vanilla Greg 2. Wow. Is this even randomized? So now Gilgamesh 2 is going to do his his quad counter. So has armor, shell, and jump. So Lena mops the floor again. But Greg 2 is actually not dead yet. So this fight can be dangerous. Thankfully, Faris did parry the attack for Vault. So the knight has this passive ability called cover. It will cover and parry attacks instead of weakened characters. So if you have a character in critical HP, the knight will always shield it. And that was not. And Lilly appears to be back online, so... yep. So we'll see if we can resync the feeds. The difficulty now for me is to see on her stream if I missed any item to track. So Lilly gets the Mountain Baron. I don't seem to have missed any item. So Judgejoe going back to Kuza Castle picks ×6 Leviathan. And the Masamune. So Judgejoe has access to 6 additional items, 3 items per tablet. So we did leave the Genji gloves. We have 2 other items to leave here. We pick the Korra ring. So Korra ring absorbs water, but gives you a weakness to electricity. We pick White 6, so we leave the Apollo Harp behind. I don't think that's a good call. Apollo Harp would have been more useful than the Korra ring, in my opinion. Yeah, we got that hint earlier from Lilly, actually. Send one blade in War 2. That was already tracked. Wait, I missed what was on Twintonia's spot. That was War's Meteor. Was it the steamship key? Or Bibish key? Hold on. Yeah, that was indeed a big bridge key. Lilly is now doing the catapult, while Judgejoe is doing Mugo Waterway and found Gogo. So here's our free coffee break, or toilet break. You have to wait 3 minutes for Gogo to say, "You won because you copied me doing nothing, so you did nothing." Alternatively, you could try to one-hit Gogo if you think you can kill it. But if you don't, you're going to get a full meteor counter. Faris has the chicken knife and X-Fight. You could try to X-Fight chicken knife here for game, but it depends. Are you confident enough that you can kill it? I think you need to do 5,000 damage here to kill Gogo. Hold up. Steamship key was not Tycoon Meteor. So what was on Tycoon Meteor? We know Tycoon Meteor is Path to the Void. Was it Trench Page? Or Elder Branch? Hold up, that doesn't make sense. Anti-Bio, maybe. No. No, because Anti-Bio is on Bal Castle. Could have been the bracelet. But I remember the bracelet earlier. I guess it's the bracelet? Because Lilly also has it. Alright, so Gogo finally decides to retire as a mimic and X-Dawn himself. And we do get the Sandworm bait for that. So we know it was in Ward 2. And it might be valuable to pursue it. It unlocks a Ward 1 check, and we know Ward 1 is filled with items. Was filled with items. We found all the Ward 1 hinted items already. Oh, Stalker! So here we have Slip Sword, and this will indeed be useful. Or you can X-Fight before the script starts, which will break Stalker's script, even if you kill it. Oh, okay, it didn't kill it, so the script has indeed started, and now it's whack-a-mole time. So X-Fight will miss a lot. I mean, it doesn't miss, but the hit is voided because the target is wrong. Okay, it's the first one, and now it's dead. Do we get an item? Is Ward 1 even more filled up with items? We could get the submarine key here. Nope, it's the Adamantite, which was also in Ward 1. Incredible. This unlocks Flying Lunka Runes, which is 2 checks. Soul Cannon Spot and Archaeo Abyss Spot. while Lilly is getting a pyramid page. So Solkin's part has Halikanaso, so always opening the fight with Kuluru, turning all your characters to frog. That's why you buy Maiden Kisses as soon as you see those. Oh, and Dynamo as well, so you will do less damage because you are in back row. X-Fight is indeed affected by back row, unless you use a long-range weapon, like a whip or a bow or a harp. I think spears are also back row. Lilly attacking with the Apollo harp. That's a bingo square. Attacking with a harp. So Halikanaso is still not dead. I think this pot is like 12,000 HP by memory. And Harley is finally down. And gives us the stealth robe. So we hope that RKWB spot has something. Most likely the submarine key. Oh, and that's a chicken knife proc, I think, from Lilly. So the chicken knife, if you attack normally with it, it will sometimes automatically run away, which you don't want. So that's why we often combine it with either Dance or X-Fight. Or on a ninja, we combine it with the double lens on the first hand. And Lilly gets the fourth tablet. And soon the RKWB spot. Judgejoe really wanted to loot all the chests. I don't think that's a variable play to do now. The item tier here isn't that high. So... yes, I agree with you, Dry. We don't have Ward 1 hints anymore. So maybe hope for the sub key or false page in on the 3 additional bosses in Exit Castle. Yeah, that was nothing. Oh, 2-ended ability. If for some reason you want to dual wield, that's not going to be much useful. X-Fight is better to get on the night at the moment. Like maybe combine X-Fight and 2-handed once we get freelancers. Because freelancers won't get the native two-handed. Freelancers only get the native two-handed if you master the ninja. If you get two-handed in a random spot, it won't give native two-handed. So both runners have checked both more items and both reset to get the White Wind Blue Magic. No, it's the ninja. Only the ninja has the native ability to dual wield items. The knight, yeah, okay, that's no, double grip, yeah. Don't confuse two-handed and dual grip. Like, okay, I understand, yeah. So, two-handed here is the ninja's dual wielding ability. The knight learns double grip or dual grip. So the knight will grip his weapon with two hands, doubles damage with one weapon, but disallows you from equipping a shield. The ninja's two-handed or dual wield will make you able to wield two weapons at the same time. Just like Final Fantasy III, in FF3, all characters have native two-handed, no matter your job. I mean, you could combine both with X Magic. But dual wielding is often better than double grip, because if you miss one hit, with double grip you miss the hit. With dual wield, you miss one of the two. You have less chances to miss everything. So Lilly doing the play of Egg this castle, even though... Wait, she got the anti-bias? I missed it. Oops. Yeah, she got the anti-bias. Oops. She did Bal Castle. So that's what Dryzolazer was talking about earlier, doing Exis Castle. And because it's required nonetheless, it's required to get access to all three. And if the key items we need are there, that's bonus. Might get the lead here. Joe electing to deep more forests, so that's the Guardian spot. And we'll get Kryl as well. So once Wall 3 is open, Judgejoe will have access to Fog Tower. And you never know, maybe Fog Tower will have the Force page. Maybe. Though here your planet isn't really a nice boss to find on those higher spots. So weirdly enough, the here you plant, he's tagged as human, so the Man-Eater Dagger will do critical damage on it. And no key item. At Moor Forest, we find Apocalypse. That's not too bad, but that's not too great either. So Apocalypse is a blue mage. It will use blue magic spells. If your levels check are wrong, you can get level 2 Ult, level 3 Flare, level 4 Quarter, or level 5 Doom. So here Lena got Ult, because her level is a multiple of 2. The others are not multiple of 2, so they shouldn't be multiple of 4 either. Oh yeah, Lena got both. Yeah, multiple of 4. Using the Masamune to hast yourself. Doing that again for some reason. Oh yeah, I probably targeted Faris and Faris died. Oh, okay, Lena is really taking everything. Level 2 All, level 4 Quarter, and Tiny Song. At least that means Judgejoe will learn every of those spells once he wins. Lena can be an item user, but Lena is a knight, so Lena can still cover even if tiny, I think. Oh, Lilly has troubles with the magic bridge. Having the Wazora encounter. Oh, was that Goblin Punch? For Quad 9? Wow. So Lena is actually the same level as Apocalypse? Nah, I don't think so. Apocalypse is too high level. Oh, it was the balance spell. So balance or revenge or 4 interrogation marks. Those as much damage as you have missing HP. Oh yeah, definitely deadly here. Oh, and it pays off! That's the submarine key! That means we have everything to... Like, we have access to Bio Tower, and Bio Tower is Path to the Void. So Judgejoe could be in no mode. Like, he knows where to go for go mode. Wow, that was move Forest before even doing Exodus Castle. That's a lucky find. And even Dry would have been defeated by it. Lilly finding X Zone. We do have time 6 to use that. That's our first one-hit KO move. That's our second, sorry, because we do have Brickblade. So X Zone is a Doom-able spell that only works on non-heavy targets and is less likely to proc than Doom Black Magic. Which we just found, but we don't have Black 6 to use it. Okay, so the first Bio Tower trap chest is the Yellow Dragons. That's the rare encounter. The gist is they are not heavy, so you can one-hit KO them with Odin, but we don't have Odin. Though the dragons are undead, so the Uplow Harp and the Excalibur would do more damage. Oh, that Thunder is going to... yeah, that's 2 characters wiped. Oh, only red dragons are undead. But there are still dragons, so Apollo Harp would still do more damage. How does one create this for single play? Oh, that's the shrine page. That's not what we wanted. You can generate a seed for single play. Like, seeds are generally single play. We don't have multi-ward. I was able to link my hint tracker, so I think links are fine here. Though there is an FF5 CD command. But okay, yeah. So the Big Bridge Studio link is the link to the randomizer. So now we do find the Red Dragon. The Red Dragon is indeed undead and dragon, so Apollo Harp do wonders against that. While Lilly is going to face Exdeath. So Exdeath is weak to Holy. We'll open the fight with one random move. Most often... Oh, who's Tower Key? So we got more key items from the Path to the Void location. We have to check everything that is available after that. Probably Walls Tower first, because it's a single check. So Exodus opened with Condemned, so Condemned puts a 30-second limit on your character. Once the time is up, your character dies. If your character is hasted, the time is actually divided by 2, so 15 seconds. And Judgejoe trying to survive Ifrit's Fire 3 spam. Ifrit here can be tough. And you can only heal with high potions, which is not that great. You would need 2 high potions to recover from a Fire 3, but Ifrit is finally down, as well as Exdeath on the other side. So Lilly now has access to Wall 3, while Judgejoe gets an item spell. Okay, so we only have 2 possible Path to the Void items. Shrine Page and Wall's Tower. Since Judgejoe doesn't have access to Wall 3 yet, Joe will probably go to Wall's Tower first? No? Okay. Okay, yeah, going to Wall's Tower first, definitely. Then we'll unlock access to Wall 3. Lilly thought about something else. Thinking Ball Castle is Path to the Void, it can be for Odin's spot. I think she doesn't have all the hints, unfortunately. She may think Submarine Key is here, because Sub Key was not hinted. And it was a lucky find from Judgejoe at Moor Forest. So maybe she thinks Balcastle is Path to the Void for the Sub Key. But it's not, it was just for the anti-buyer. Oh, Judgejoe taking the middle ladder, which is not the correct one. And the second time everyone gets tricked by this ladder, by this pillar. And we find Timmy, the Adamantime. So it has an automatic armor and shell, but at this part it has not much HP and we can one-hit KO. And we find the false page. That's go mode. So yep, was not in Shrine at all. shrine, pyramid and shrine, not even needed. We have all 4 pages, but not even needed. Only one of them was needed. That's incredible. Judgejoe going to Bar Castle. Nope. Was just a misclick. Yeah, wants to go to Exodus Castle now. You need to do that before Falls Shrine for the reason that it's located in World 3. You need access to World 3. You need to defeat Exodus. But now Judgejoe can skip the extra bosses. However, we might see Joe dipping in Pyramid or Shrine to get high tier loot, or maybe try to loot the Void, because we don't have enough power for the final boss, I think. Oh, Lilly found Kill Toss! So Odin has Kill Toss. So that's one possible endgame strat for the final boss. You either want Guild Toss or at least Summon 4. Summon 4 Sildra or Summon 5 Leviathan. We do have Leviathan, but not Summon 5. And then you would like a way to raise your level, so either the Bard with Hero Song, which we do have, or the Mix ability from the Chemist. Mix is better because if you go for summons, the only way to... you will need the Mix Elemental Power ability. Especially for Leviathan, because Elemental Power is the only way to raise Water Elemental Power. For Wind Element, you could use an Air Knife as well. Or a Wizard Rod. And yeah, Joe is unlikely to go to Odin's spot. Alright, once you're in Gur mode, you go to your Gur mode, get the loot here, maybe get the loot in the Void. Not really looting extra locations. And if you do loot extra locations, that would be Pyramid or Shrine, but not Odin. Odin is a single boss spot. Though Giltos will make the final boss way easier for Lilly. Lilly has Bard, Lilly has Giltos. Don't even need the... yeah, don't even need the Freelancer or Mimic. Like, could just all go Bard and Giltos. Though being able to equip being able to equip White Magic or Time Magic as well for more safety. Or being able to use the Masamune to hast yourself. Yeah, I think Joe at least has equipped Katana. Lilly found a Ragnarok. That's the second most powerful sword. The most powerful sword being Great Blade. Contrary to Excalibur, Ragnarok is non-elemental. And Exdes is now dead on Judgejoe's side. So you see Joe spamming the X button to directly go to wall 3. Very impatient. So we go... He goes to the pyramid? Why go to the pyramid? Okay, even if you want to loot the pyramid, go to Falls first. Falls also has variable loot, and you might find enough power in Falls while getting Go mode. If you need to loot pyramid afterward. That's more optimal. Meanwhile, Lilly got the Moogle suit, so that's going to be more high tier loot. Probably Freelancer or Mimic. At least one of them. Judgejoe finds Cracklow guarding the pyramid, so that's 2 lobsters. So both runners are in pyramid currently. That means Joe is going to find the Moogle suit actually. Yeah, Joe find the Ragnarok and will find the Moogle suit. That's not actually bad for Joe. But that's not where you should go. Getting hit by the poisonous spikes. Yeah, you need to heal before getting the monster in the box chest. What are you doing? What are you doing? You missed the monster in the box chest. You missed what you went for. Why is Judgejoe arbitrarily skipping some checks? Magic Sword level 6. So you can refresh that. Do you... What is Joe doing? I don't understand Joe's route. Yeah, the problem is... Okay, running shoes, Meteo, Summon 5, okay, that's a lot of powerful stuff. Like... Summon 5 with Leviathan can be an endgame strat. Though we know Lilly will have a better kill toss setup. Holy Sword Magic. Big Gourd. Sage Staff. Wow. So we do have Magic Sword 6 and Holy Blade. And a ribbon. Wow, Judgejoe missed the Moogle suit. That's the only... Wow, that's too bad. If he wanted amazing loot, he could have gotten the Moogle suit as well. Wow. And now he's going to Falls. But as I said, I would have probably gone there, gone to Falls first and then to Pyramid. Checking history as well for the shops. So getting enough Phoenix Downs for sure. So sending all the items. Ready for the shopping segment. Just in case we find Giltos as well, but we know where Giltos is, and Judgejoe is certainly not going to get Giltos. But maybe he's hoping for the samurai. But samurai is most likely in Mughal village, which Judgejoe will never have access to. Alright, so who's guarding Falls? Merzin. That's a crit sword dance. Wow. So the boss here is 10,000 HP. If you do quad 9, you just need one single attack afterward for 1 HP. So Lilly putting Holy Blade to good use against the dragons. Those are undead. Brave Blade, wow. That's even better than the Ragnarok we found in Pyramid. So maybe you regret checking Pyramid now. Ice Shield, that's a great shield. So Ice Shield absorbs ice and nullifies fire. Fire Shield absorbs fire and nullifies ice. Both have a high magic defense stat as well. Best shields in the game. Another great shield would be the Aegis Shield, because it also has an immunity to a few status. Bahamut, but we will never use it. You have no way of boosting Bahamut like you can with Leviathan or Sildra, because Bahamut is non-elemental. X-Magic, but I doubt we will actually use it. Powerful with summons, because you can double cast summons, but you need to equip both X-Magic and Summon 5, which requires the Mimic or the Freelancer, or requires the Summoner to equip X-Magic on it. Yeah, False Shrine is actually a rare sight in this randomizer under those settings. The only people who know it well would either be the veterans for the first tournament, when Falls was actually as valuable as Pyramid, Trench, and Shrine, or the people who do Bingo, like Obi, Lilly, or myself. Because in Bingo, you kinda check all spots. Lilly doing the tour with Boko, going to Entlion spot. Tulpas Cave. And this is T-Rex. So one Phoenix down, and he's actually dead because he's an undead. And the first tablet, obviously, because this was hinted. So Judgejoe is now dipping in the void. I think he's still going to open the chests to know, maybe a chance to get Freelancer or Mimic. Or maybe even chemist or mix would be great. Lily checking Mughal village. So this will be loot that Joe will never get. 25 grams. Meh. Black 5. Odin, Darksuit, Phoenix. Wow, that's a bad Mughal village. I missed the first item among the 6 checks, but I don't think that was either freelancer or mimic. So that was a bad Mughal village. So Judge Joe dodging a non-useful Mughal village. Incredible. Yeah, you could find Samurai. There was Summon 4 in the Void, so you didn't really need Summon 5. The Bone Mail. Eh. And a Crystal Shield. Oh, that's bad loot here. The first tablet that Lily is missing is in Falls, which requires the Falls page. This was hinted very early in the seed. History Falls holding the first tablet. Falls page is at Walls Tower, which in World 1, which requires the Walls Tower key, which was found in Fire Tower, which was hinted as Path to the Void. Yeah, if you want kind of a resumed hint chain. I think Mughal Waterway gives the Sandworm bait, and Sandworm in World 1 gives Adamantite, and Adamantite leads to nothing. So I think Lily is going to hit the bait. Yep, Subkey is at Moor Forest, which we already have access to. So we find Omniscient. The neat thing is that we do have Mute Blade, Magic Sword, and X-Fight. So every turn we have 4 Mute Sword attacks. This is going to take long, but it's a safe way to approach it. Omni cannot do anything, cannot counter because he is muted. And even the death counter, Flare, won't be able to be used because he is still muted. So, safest way to do Omniscient. We can now progress and access the second part of the Void. The runners also almost always miss the other chest here in the falls part. On top of the falls, there was a secret passage. There's one chest there. They always forget there's a chest there. Omega and Shinryu are always at their vanilla spots. Even Omega doesn't even move, so you don't even have to dodge it. However, their immunities and weaknesses are randomized. An NPC in Marriage Village hints you the weaknesses of Omega, and an NPC in Mughal Village will hint you Shinryu's weaknesses. They are not required at all in the randomizer to finish the seed. You can just bypass them. Omega doesn't give you anything. Shinryu will still grow out a chest, which can have an item, but at this point, you have all the equipment you need, and you just don't want to waste time doing Shinryu just for one chest. Like, there was one time when Shinryu would have been good. It was a what we call the run settings. It was during the 4-job period, which was a 4-job restricted mode with Beastmaster, Dancer, White Mage, and Time Mage. So your best weapon was actually the chicken knife for the Dancer. And once Shinryu's chest had the chicken knife. That was a fun seed. But other than that, no, never required. Unless you want a challenge, yeah, mainly post-game challenge. But if you want a really great challenge, you can do the Portal boss. This is a randomizer-specific boss. Randomized between 3 bosses. You have Rain Senshi, Samba Mage, and the Dragon Clan. And they offer you a bigger challenge for the end game. Oh, Joe actually hit Omega. If you touch Omega, you will trigger the fight. I mean, Joe doesn't have access to any of the Shinryu or Omega weakness. Like, Omega's weakness is an NPC in Mage Village, Shinryu's weakness int is an NPC in Mughal Village. Lilly could potentially get Shinryu's weakness, but not really worth it. Like, if you want a really swag strat... Oh, Mimic! Okay, Judgejoe definitely has everything he needs. Since the Mimic does get a bit of the Master Job stats, the Mimic here will get good HP stat. But it won't be able to equip most weapons in the game. But we do have access to Judgment Staff, Sage Staff, Wizard Rods. So yeah, along with equipping 3 abilities. So otherwise, if Judgejoe really wanted to taunt Lilly, he would be showing the Portal boss before resetting. But you never do that in an actual race. Like, no one thinks he's ahead enough to check the Portal boss. And even if you do think you're ahead, no one is disrespectful enough to just waste time with the Portal boss knowing it won't end the seed. Dry, do you know what would make this even safer if we find blue magic. You can equip the Mimic with blue magic, and we do have Big Guard. That would make the endgame trivial. Especially since Judgejoe doesn't have Guild Toss. So Big Guard would be a great help against Ned. Just for safety if you can't... if you cannot prevent Almagus. Using Leviathan against the Pyrobolters with X magic. The thing is, the Pyrobolters are not weak to water nor ice. They actually don't have a weakness. But 2 Leviathans were enough to kill them all during the same turn, so no life to and he can progress. He will probably keep looting. But even if he keeps looting, like... Judgejoe, if you want to set up Kryl to be the singers for Ned, you shouldn't equip armors. Like, maybe ribbon, but not armors. Otherwise, even if Joe keeps looting the Rift and the Void, I think sub 2 hours will be achieved. Yes, Chicken Knife and Brave Blade are always full power in the randomizer. So even if you run away, Brave Blade will still be at max, and even if you never run away, Chicken Knife will always be at max. You can have both weapons. Calofistery, not really a nice boss here, so pretty tanky. Can set up a wall. And will often drain counter. Can also inflict hold. So your best bet here is to use Flare Blade and X-Fight to do the most possible damage every turn. Yeah, now that she has a wall, you won't be able to use any spell. Except if you wall one of your characters and use a spell on them. Like, you can't... the game doesn't handle double reflect, so to bypass a wall, you need to reflect the spell off yourself. Yeah, okay, so the fight was actually nice because Calo doesn't counter X-Fight. Meteo is not a spell that can be bounced off a reflect. Meteo bypasses reflect, just like many of the blue magic spells. Most of the blue magic spells bypass wall. We find the Sandworm. So we are getting Flare Sword. So Sandworm is a fight you don't like to see because it's kinda slow. It's weak to water. And Aqua Rake, even if being non-elemental, will do 8 times damage to desert enemies. So you can do Leviathan, yes. Um, it somehow won't proc the counters from the holes, and X Magic will take care of Sandworm with speed. I think Lilly just got the Prime page. Yes. Lady just finds the hero song. And Lily will soon be in go mode, finding a Wall Tower key here. So the Flare Sword hits. We generally don't get the Necrophob's part save point. We backtrack to Apocalypse save point to save there before going to the final boss. Because you still don't know what boss can show up there. And depending on the bosses you haven't seen yet, you can try to guess what is there. And if you have too many strong bosses that could slow you down, it's not worth it. If you have a lot of nice bosses you haven't seen yet, you might go there, maybe get the save point. Like, what boss haven't we seen that could be nice on Necrophobe's part? Because we haven't seen a lot of strong bosses. We haven't seen Bahamut, too strong boss. We haven't seen Greg 4. We haven't seen Appenda. We haven't seen Biblos. So yeah, here I wouldn't try to get the Necrophobe save point. You just backtrack to the last save point, which was in the castle. The only advantage the Necrophobe save point provides is that you get a fourth warp point using the crystal shard. Which means if you need to do additional shopping, yes, you get the save point, you can warp out and go back here again. Oh, Lily actually gets baited by the shrine page. Lily is not going to Wall's Tower. Oh, that's bad. Lily was on the right track, but she decides to go to shrine, which has more monster in a box chests, rather than checking the quick Wall's Tower. Finds a Mimic ability, which is not really useful. The Mimic Crystal is way more useful. And yeah, Judgejoe definitely backtracking. Lily finding Black 6 in Shrine, so Lily can use the Doom spell. Judgejoe is setting up for the final boss. Mimic with a few support abilities, another Mimic with Sing and Equip Katana, so this Mimic will be protected by the ribbon. Oh, okay, no, just items. Okay, but if you want this part to sing, I'd suggest you remove the crystal gears, because it will have too much defense for you to stop the singer by hitting it. Then you have Mimic with Summon. Magic Sword won't be of use anymore, so just put X Magic to couple with the Summon. White Magic to be safe, maybe, but no X Magic strat. Also, okay, don't forget to put the running shoes, and also put all your characters in back row. You won't be using them to hit. So back row will at least protect against physical attacks. Yeah, without being able to use Big Ward or equip more ribbons or Aegis, that's the only issue. You won't be protected against White Hole. I think that's why Joe equipped White Magic, to be able to use Shell. That's like the only thing that will protect against White Hole a little. I didn't see what Lilly got on this trap chest. Lilly might get additional non-required items. Oh! She got the Ifrit's Fire. Lilly actually got the Ifrit's Fire. So she's only missing the Hear You Call and the Mirage Radar. Oh, Sildra was here. Interesting. So using the Machemine, we'll be able to hast everyone. We then use Golem to set up a physical shield. We sing Vitality Song first. This will put regen on every character. Oh, and we did shield Whitehall. I think it targeted Cryo, who has a ribbon. And now we're singing Hero Song. That means for every 80-bit tick that Cryo will be singing, every character will gain a level. So we do that to get max level, to get a huge stat boost. Afterward, we may switch to Speed Song or Magic Song, but Hero Song will boost your stat more first. And now we wait. The neat thing is that the regen from Vitality Song will actually serve to check our level, because as you can see, the regen tick gives you more HP back every time. That's because our level is increasing, and regen gives you HP back according to your level. So once the regen doesn't go stops getting higher, you know you hit max level. I mean, not actual max level, you didn't hit 255, but you hit past 99. Lilly on the other side finds Atomos on the deep end of the shrine. What you could try to do here is, I think Joe should cast Shell with the White Magic user, at least to try to prevent Whitehall a little, and also protect a little from Almagest. Like, yeah, you can Okay, now Joe is starting to double cast Leviathan. And Lilly actually found the Mirage Radar at the end of Shrine. So she's going to pursue this, and that's a bad idea because mountains are barren. We know mountains are barren, we know Bahamut spots cannot have anything, so Mirage Radar only unlocks the shop. I hope Lilly knows this and goes towards Tower. The neat thing with the Mimic is that now you can mimic the Leviathan double cast with everyone, even if you don't have double cast. Oh, Judgejoe is beginning to run out of Phoenix Downs, so you need to heal Faris, or else she will keep dying. Also, you cannot use Mimic when starting the second phase of Ned, because you won't have any valid target. Stack singing shouldn't matter much, true. Wave Leviathans should win according to Dryzelizer. In that case, that could be a guaranteed sub 2, if we can survive. The problem is that if we lose the cycle, if we can't mimic anymore, Lena is forced to X magic again, and unless we have a gold pin, Lena might run out of MP. That's one. That's two. X magic will add 2, so that's 4. Aero 3 on Kryl, so Kryl's dead, but that doesn't matter, it was a single character. 6. Eight. Why Leviathan over Bahamut? Because Bahamut is non-elemental, while Leviathan is elemental. So you can boost... Oh, but we don't have mix. So it wouldn't matter, but the thing is, Leviathan costs less MP, so it's better over time. Three parts are dead, I think. There's only one part remaining. And that should be time here. Almost, after this one. And that's done! With an official race time of 1 hour, 52 minutes and 35 seconds. That's an incredible time. Whereas Lilly forfeits. So I'll try to see if we can get an interview. But that's a big win for Judgejoe here. So Joe is okay with an interview. Lilly as well. I'll see with the restreamer if it's possible. Hold up for now. I guess I could just send the invite as well. Oh, okay. Lily is here. Hello, Lily.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon. How do you feel about the seed?
Very good progression early, and then there was that wall where you're trying to find the particular items to continue.
Yeah. So maybe you were missing a few hints, but I think you got all the necessary hints. So the big difference between you and Judgejoe, biggest difference, Joe cleared World 1 really quickly, and before going to Castle Leg's death, which isn't the most optimal play actually, did more forest before. So Joe got the sub key way earlier. Joe actually dodged a lot of bait items. Like, a lot.
Oh, yeah, I know I fell down a lot of rabbit holes with that.
Yeah.
I was putting off more, and I shouldn't have.
Basically, Joe was in no mode before going to Exodus Castle. So
That's
he
huge.
didn't do the Exodus Castle bosses. Now, once he got to out of Bio Tower, getting both the War's Tower key and the Shrine page, he elected to do War's Tower first. Because that's, one check.
And is that where the falls page was?
Exactly. Like, Bio Tower was past the divide, it's either Shrine or War's Tower. And Shrine did get you a few bait items. It gave you Ifrit Fire and Mirage Radar. So normally you should know that Mirage Radar cannot give you anything because, well, mountains are barren.
Right.
You would have pursued Ifrit's Fire in the library. Yeah, that would have not been it. That was just the War's Tower all along, unfortunately. Yeah. So Joe didn't do anything in Wall 3 except Falls. He dipped in Pyramid, actually. But didn't do the boss and didn't do the truck chest. So he didn't even get the Mogul suit. We were like, wait, he's going to miss on some good loot. Right. He didn't miss any good loot. Never finished. So, yeah. Really lucky. Like, Evan Dries said so. The more forest check having the sub key was a lucky call from Joe, to be honest. You played well as well, but unfortunately you just got, rabbit hole baited. Unfortunately. there were some plays that were better according to us, like going to Exodus Castle first before going worldwide. Like, it's better to do the required locations first and hoping you get your items there. Unfortunately, that was not the case here because, well, randomizer.
It happens. It'll happen.
Joe didn't get the invite. Hold on.
Okay.
Okay, Judgejoe. Here. Oh, Judgejoe is here, apparently.
Hello.
Hello, Joe. GG's.
Thanks for the GGs.
What did you think of that seed?
Very... Here, have a chicken knife and X fight. Now see what you can do.
Mm-hmm.
And so I just pretty much took the fact that it gave me real quick power and just did my best to clear everything that was as quick as possible in that order, sort of.
So, just as I said to Lilly just before, what really set you ahead was that lucky call on Moor Forest.
I mean, it could have been, again, another downside, but with the hints we had, and the fact that I'd either have to be randomly clearing 3 for the Mirage radar or get the sub-key for more hints. Theoretically, any check except the mountains could have the sub-key anywhere.
Yes.
So I decided to try and just keep on clearing the easy World 2 checks before heading on into World 3. I had the power, no reason to go into the slightly more difficult, even if Pyramid's easy, checks when I can just keep on clearing. Didn't want to miss anything.
By the way, talking about barren mountains, why did you try to check Heiyu Valley?
Couple things. One, it still has good XP and potentially good loot. After getting that hint, just grabbed the loot. At that time, I didn't have a hero song, for example, so I didn't have a way to... I didn't really have my X-Def plan yet. I've seen Mix, I've seen hero song, I've seen multiple good things in the looting part, and then the boss-wise, I simply checked if it was insta-killable. If it was, that's some good XP.
Alright, so that was just for the XP. That's actually a good play. Well, basically, Lilly played well. She did what we thought would be more optimal, checking Exodus Castle first, because it's required nonetheless. So you try the extra bosses to hope and get your required items on the way. It turns out, no. You did the one lucky spot first. You did Moor Forest first. That's really a big difference that sets you both apart. The second thing was once you got the items in Barrier Tower, you got both War's Tower, Key, and Shrine Page.
Yep.
Everyone would think under those settings, do Shrine Page because it has more checks with monster in the boxes and better loot. Turns out, no. It's one quick check in World 1.
I mean, yes, there's more checks in Shrine Page, but also Horse Tower is a very fast check.
Yeah, it's a single and fast check. It's just always better to just do that on the way. So, yep. And lucky call, it was there. So, because, Shrine actually had more key items. It had Mirage Radar and Ifrit's Fire.
Yep. I didn't believe that, considering, well, I didn't do any of the key item checks in World 3, so I know Fire and Radar had to be there from hints.
Though, you did go in Pyramid for the loot.
Yep.
There are a few things I was wondering. Did you intentionally skip the monster in the boxes?
Yes. Didn't feel like doing any of those extra fights, however easy they would have been. I was just there.
Sorry, yes?
I was just there for the loot and nothing else. I know there was a decent chance of Mirage Radar in there, but
Well,
didn't
you
feel
missed
like it.
you missed the Moogle suit.
Anything good?
Money, and that was about it. No,
You got never
Phoenix.
punished. You got never punished.
There's Phoenix
Yes.
and Leviathan there.
No, because you got Leviathan, it was
Was
not
it
a
Leviathan
box.
was showed.
tablet. Shoat, which there's
Uh,
a million shoats typically.
there is only one thing that Lilly got, which would make the Fender boss easier than yours. Lilly
Mick.
did Odin spot, and Odin had Giltos.
Neat.
But
That's
that would have not been worth it to do Odin spot in your situation.
yeah.
So, yep, getting the Mimic Crystal in the Void sure was lucky. So, yep.
I
Really
remember watching, I think, Lily's last race and noticed that Lily does loot the castle if missing some stuff. Got the super long walk around and got Mimic there in the previous race. So I figured I'll just keep looting the castle. I do have a somewhat of a plan. It's just a little easier if I go and have more ability slots. Sort of.
Yeah. So coupling X Magic, Summon 5, and Mimic is really a great idea for this fight. The only thing that would have made it better would have been mixed to get element power and protection against Whitehall, or Wizard Ward. No, Wizard Ward doesn't even boost water. Yeah, no.
It doesn't. No.
Yeah, only Lily got Sildra, actually.
Were there
Mix was also in Mirage.
Okay, so Mirage had the finishing stuff.
And Blue Mage Crystal and the blue ability were both in Mirage.
Wow.
Hey, big guard white wind.
Yeah,
Sadly.
Big Ward would have been something helpful. So, yeah, just a few quick things. If you can't boost water element, because you don't have element of power, Leviathan is still better than Bahamut, because faster animations, less MP consumed, yeah. Though, you had White Magic equipped.
Yep.
Did you have Shell?
I don't actually know because I never cast a single bit of white magic.
Yeah, I saw you equipped it during your final fight. Shell would have helped a little, because magic defense or magic evade can prevent white hole, and that could have been a nice bonus if you don't have big ward. So Shell would have helped a little.
I was decently happy with I had the two people who I cared about most with Ribbon and the Aegis Shield. I had my X magic user had the Aegis Shield, and then Ribbon was on my Bard, so wasn't going to get that white hold. Although no way to get the Bard out, so I can just start mimicking with the Bard also, because no attack command.
Well, that wasn't really that much of a problem, but yes, it's better to leave at least one attack command, and it won't be enough. You need your Bard to not have armor, or else your attacks won't hit the Bard. Or it will do 0 damage and the Bard will not stop singing.
Does aim work?
I don't think you can aim at a party character. But yeah. The best is to just barehanded attack on the Bard, but you need the Bard to not have armor to actually stop stinging. But other than that, that wasn't even required for you. Like, mimicking X magic was way enough. You needed 12 Leviathans to end up the fight, so yeah. No problem.
Yeah.
And Lilly would have gotten a way easier fight because Giltos makes.
And I had Nyx.
Yep.
And blue magic.
I think looking at my inventory, I never did have antidotes, but that's
Antidotes were in Jacole. So antidotes and eye drops were only in that shop.
eye drops were is story in World 3 also, but
The shop doesn't change in World 3, so it was his story. Yeah. His story and Jackal both are shops we never check, actually. Like, we rarely check those.
I think I heard somewhere that the armor shop changes in World 3 in history, but that was it.
Really? The only thing I know about history, actually, is that the item shop is shared with World 1. The magic shop is shared, and anyway, Karnak has all the World 1 magic shops. So yeah, I think history only has the armor shop, and I don't remember it changing between World 1 and 3.
Might just be that it's the armor shop's its only unique shop, but I just knew the armor shop was unique.
Yeah, Dry says it's static.
Got it.
But yeah, history and Jackal having those items is punishing because you rarely check those towns.
I specifically checked those towns because I was looking for antidotes and eye drops.
Yeah. So antidotes required for Samson's power, and eye drops would have been for elemental power. Or hast drinks if you have turtle shells.
Yeah.
So, yeah. That's it. So, in conclusion, Lilly, unfortunately, that's the end of the tournament for you. You went up to loser bracket round 3, which is still an honorable result. And for you, Joe, I don't know if that's a better news. Because in the next round, losers round 4, you will actually be facing Drazelizer. And Dry is actually a tough opponent, you know.
Yeah. I think I've looked and went, whoever I'm up against, I mean, the entire time I've not necessarily been expecting to win, but whoever I'm up against is going to be a tough opponent.
And also, Dry has been watching you today, learning tactics. So, yeah.
My unique tactics of charge at everything.
All right, so we do have 3 matches for next week. In losers round 4, we will have Judgejoe versus Drazelizer, and LQ Flurry versus IB Karma. Aside from that, we will also have the winners final, which is going to be Fiery Blizzard versus Alastair. So 3 interesting matches coming up. Stay tuned for the FF5 Carry Day Randomizer Tournament. And with that, that's going to be all. Does any one of you have any last word?
Just thanks for running everything. It's been a blast. I made it a lot further than I ever expected. And it's been fun playing against everybody.
Yeah, thanks to both Rom and Professor Render for helping put today's restream on. It was lots of fun, and I'm sure I'll definitely enjoy seeing the differences in everything that occurred in this race and throughout the tournament.
All right, so it is time to end this restream. Thanks everyone for watching. Thanks Professor Renderer for setting up the restream. Thanks Joe and Lilly, and we will see you all next time. Goodbye.